and welcome to Ask Me About K-Pop, the essential guide for recent converts and seasoned fans alike. My name is Shannon.
And I'm Angelica.
And today we got double the fun. Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Double the flavor.
It's a duet episode.
Yeah.
I just offhandedly said in our Hello battle recently when speaking about a duet that I love that, we should do a duet episode someday. And whenever I think of an episode topic, sometimes we just got to run with it before we forget. And this is one of those times.
Absolutely. So basically what we're going to do, we've done this rarely, but occasionally. I feel like we kind of did it in our music video one where we just like recommended music videos that we like.
The last time I remember doing this was last summer when we did a Summer Jams episode and talked about our favorite summer songs.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we forget that that's the kind of episode we can do, but we remembered today.
We did. So what we've done is taken a look through our own, music catalogs and chosen 10 of our favorite duets by different artists. Our only requirement for what made a duet was that both of the singers on it, even if they were credited as being featured on the song, they needed to have more than one verse. Was basically the only requirement, because there are so many songs where you have like a singer, for example, like Jeonyoung does a collaboration with Zion T, Deja Vu, where Jeonyoung sings the entire song and then Zion T just comes in for a verse.
Right.
And then he leaves and there's nothing else that he does, right? It's just the verse.
So that feels more like a feature than a duet.
Exactly. It's not a duet because it's not a jointly sung song.
Totally. So that was our stipulation. And I think we also tried to leave out drama soundtrack contributions because we've talked about that before. Mm-hmm. And so this was like, that was just to keep the list small. We took out drama songs.
Yeah. And we specifically made sure that it was just two people, because there are a lot of really great, like, for example, I would argue that Super Junior's Lo Siento is like a duet, quote unquote, with Leslie Grace, because she sings throughout the entire thing. But because Super Junior is a group and not a single person, we didn't include it as a duet. Like Mamamoo has a lot of really great songs that are duet style, but because they're a group, it's really a quintet. There's four of them and one guest.
Sure.
So we specifically kept it within two singers on the track.
Yeah. So I think all there is to do is just to get into these songs, play clips of them, and say why we like them, because that's what we're doing here. Okay. First one on my list.
And these are in no particular order.
No particular order.
Just to put that out there, we did not rank them.
Yes. They're just all good. So don't worry about it. This song, I feel like this song and possibly a couple others on the list, because our favorites come up sometimes. I think we've talked about some of these songs before in different contexts. And I don't know if this one has come up yet. I feel like it was maybe one of my most early recommendations. I truly don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But this song is called Runnin', and it is by So-You from Sistar and Henry from Super Junior M. Can you give us a few facts about this song before
Absolutely.
I just start gushing?
The only thing you need to know is that this is an SM station song. It was released on October 14th, 2016. And that's it.
I love this song so much. I feel like most of the songs on this list just make me inexplicably like want to cry when I hear them, like just out of like deep, abiding love. I think I just really, really like duets as a concept. I love when two people's voices can mesh together. I love harmonies. I love that duets are often very romantic. Like, I just think everything about them is like for me. And like this song is so good because it's like, it's sexy and it's got a good bass line, and like both of their voices are very nice. I know you have a rational hatred for Henry, but I really like his voice.
No, I like Henry's voice. I don't like his face. Specifically his mouth.
Okay.
I love this song. I listen to it all the time. I don't watch the music video because it's just Henry wandering around. and I can only listen to him. But I love this song. He has a great like raspy quality to his voice while still being a very strong singer. And Soyu in the song has like a very gentle melodic voice, and their harmony is like sweet and soft, and it's just such a pleasant song. Everything about this song to me is pleasant and lovely.
It's very nice. I believe that it was one of the songs that I snuck into the playlist at my wedding, that this was one of the cocktail hour songs, because it's like a good background.
Absolutely.
It's a good like cocktail hour background song that nobody really like noticed it being off. Like it was it fit right in. Yes, I love Runnin'. Mm-hmm. I love Runnin'.
That's a great one.
Oh, love it. So that's the first one, and we love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down one on the list because the next one is another Soyu one, and I guess maybe we can spread them out a tiny bit.
Absolutely.
So the next song is the song that inspired this episode, period, and now I finally get to play it. We talked about it 2 weeks ago. This song is called Hello, and it's by Sohyun from Girls' Generation and best friend of the podcast, Eric Nam. So this song was on Sohyun's debut solo album in 2017. The album was called Don't Say No. This song was composed by 3 people with English names, but Sohyun contributed to the lyrics. And the lyrics of this one are like, whenever I see you, I just want to smile, like, being with you makes my heart burst, like, hello. It's just nice. Yeah. It's just nice. And the song like makes me feel nice, and it feels like smiles. And I can't remember what we said about it a couple weeks ago, but like, I think it was just like, it's good.
It's very bright and also very pleasant. Like it's just a very sweet love song that has kind of like an innocent and like bubbly.
Yeah.
Like it's just a little bit of like a like exhale, and it is very, it's just very pleasant.
Yeah, it has like tinkle, there's like some tinkly instrumentation in the
And I love the way in the chorus that Eric and Sohyun go back and forth. Hello, hello, hello. Like each one of them saying it instead of just like one of them singing the whole thing. They go back and forth on it almost like percussively. Their voices mesh really well together because they're both very good singers. It's a great song.
It's a really good one. And I've talked a million times about this before, but just to get one more plug in, this Sohyun album is a very, very good album.
Yeah, it really is. That is an album that I, to this day, never get tired of, and it's one that I enjoy listening to fully, like from start to finish. I don't put it on shuffle, like I just put it from the beginning, and every song is great. It's so hard. I remember when it first came out, you and I were talking like, oh, what's your favorite song off of it? And I said one, and you said a different one, and I was like, oh, I also love this one. We literally went back and forth and listed every single song on the album because we couldn't decide which one was our favorite, because it's all great.
Because it's all good.
So, it's all good.
So that's Hello.
Yeah. See, Eric, look at all the nice things we're saying about you.
Come on our podcast, goddammit. One more shout out to everybody, to the people who like on a weekly basis like continue to bother Eric Nam. Thank you.
You guys are the true heroes. The true heroes.
Until we get him in this room, never stop. Never stop bothering him.
Never stop him.
Okay, so now I will go back to the second one that was again, no particular order, but there was another Soyu song that I thought I would at least pad out a little bit. So this song is a very popular song. I know we've talked about it before. I don't remember what the context was, but this song is called Some, and it is by Soyu from Sistar and Junggigo.
I believe we talked about this in the context of what a some relationship is. So we'll explain that in a second because that was definitely in a really early
Really
episode.
long time ago.
But just some details. This song was put out by Starship Entertainment as just a single on February 7th, 2014. And it was a #1 hit for 6 straight weeks on the Gaon chart. It was wildly popular. I remember like we've mentioned the show Roommate several times. There's like a whole scene where one of the comedians wants to do like a lip sync with like Nana from Orange Caramel to this song. And it's kind of along the same lines as Run In and Hello, in the sense that it is like soft and gentle and
But it's groovy.
yeah, it has a groovier beat to it for sure, and is a little bit different in the lyrical content of it. So do you want to explain what a relationship is?
A refresher of what a sum relationship is. This is like a Korean slang term for that period of time in a potential relationship where you're like not sure if you're actually dating or not. Like it's probably been established that both parties like each other, but like nothing official has been made, and it's just sort of this weird limbo that you sit in. So the song is like specifically saying that like I feel like you like me. Like, do you like me? Like, is this, are we doing anything with this? Or like
it
where
feels
is
like
this
we're
going?
lovers, but we're not. Like, what is happening? I'd like for this to go on, but give me a sign.
But what is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this song was like a moment. I think it might have come up in when we were talking about co-ed groups or something, about how like whenever people want to do like a co-ed special stage or whatever, that there's only like a handful of songs that they ever get to pick from. And I feel like the existence of some like threw one more song onto that pile.
Absolutely.
For like a thing that people can sing at like Gaio's like as a
as a
fun
co-ed
song.
duet.
Yeah, but it was like a huge song, and I feel like it still gets played all the time in like Korean coffee shops or whatever, because it's just like a vibe and it's a good song.
Yeah, it is a good song.
So that's the next one I have on my list is by our dear sweet Taemin from SHINee, and it features Seulgi from Red Velvet, and that song is called Heart Stop. So this song was off of Taemin's 2017 solo album titled Move. And something I think that's interesting about this song is that it not only sounds very different from the other couple that we've just played, but it also is a breakup song, which I think is an interesting take for a duet to take, to be like, oh, we're the two parties in this breakup. So it's literally like heart stopped beating, feelings have stopped, like whatever this was, it isn't anymore. And yeah, I don't know, the musicality or the orchestration of the song is like, it's odd. It's very different from like everything else that we've played so far, which is very like standard, groovy, poppy, lovey. And this is like odd Taemin music.
Yeah, this song is a little like dark. I mean, it is a breakup song, like you said, so it is a little bit darker. And I think it had that signature Taemin style to it that every song on this album did. Like Move was such a complete
art piece of an album.
Yeah, it was like such a well and fully conceived album that all of the songs fit together really well. And so Heartstop is perfectly in that style of it, of this like sort of edgy, sexy groove, I guess, that Taemin has like built for himself. And I just love this song. It's very catchy. Their songs, or excuse me, their voices mesh really well together. Taemin and Seulgi have done like a couple things together. There's a really good, I don't know if it was a Mama or a Gaio or something. They did a drip drop performance together. So they're a good duo. They're a strong duo for sure.
Lots of people ship them very hard. I had hoped, because I think I just dreamed it, or I saw it on Twitter because someone else dreamed it. But like I thought that they had done this at the most recent SM Town in Dubai or whatever.
Heartstop?
Yeah, but there was no evidence of such a thing. So maybe I just dreamed it. But
I think
like,
the only stage I've seen them do together is
the drip drop one.
Yeah.
So maybe I just confused it in my mind. But yeah, I remember this album as many Taemin albums. For me personally, they usually it takes time for a Taemin album to grow on me. I feel like his artistry is sometimes a little far away from like my particular style, but I remember immediately like calling this song out as like, this is a strong one on this album.
Fair enough.
So
I don't feel that way about Taemin's albums.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This has been a point of contention before. So I'm just saying. But I remember that I always liked Heartstop.
Fair enough. I did as well. I love Taemin's weird style.
Okay, next one on the list is another song that we will find any excuse on this podcast to talk about because we love it. And that song is Myers Candy by Baek Ji-young and Taecyeon from 2PM.
This song was on Baek Ji-young's EP Ego, which was released on August 14th, 2009. And it has since become like a truly iconic duet. Like we've mentioned it many times, and also specifically in the context of this is one of the songs
you
that
get to
people do.
If you need to do a weird collab, you can do Myers Candy.
And it's just... I don't know. This song is like timeless to me. It is so dated.
Yes, but in a perfect way. That like lasts forever.
That cheesiness in everything about it, from like the beat to Taecyeon's like absurdly growly voice. I love it. I love it. It's so cheesy.
Yeah, it's cheesy and fun and good. And yeah, it's a perfect time capsule. We were just watching the music video just now, and like there's a weird like silver lipstick situation that looks bad on everyone, but the commitment and the choreography to this is like really funny, and it's that like simple point choreography from 10 years ago that doesn't exist anymore.
So that anybody could learn it, anybody could do it. It's fantastic, and Baek Ji-young has been able to basically just use this song as a way to objectify like hotter and younger men every time she performs it, and that's what I'm here for, baby. You can look up Myers Candy Baek Ji-young, and she probably is a version of it with A Boy You Like, because kind of like a Boa's Only One, you just like grab a hot guy that's available. Like she has one with Mingyu and June. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head, but let's see.
Who is that?
There's one with JB and Jackson from GOT7.
Lee Sung-gi. I feel like I know who's
Kim Hee-chul,
Chan Sung. Yeah, she did this song.
So
you just
many.
do it with other people. Eric Nam! Solar and Eric Nam! Wait, Solar and Eric Nam! Oh
from there
God.
We Got Married? Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. Sorry, Eric.
Come on the podcast. We'll ask him about it when he comes on the podcast.
Yeah. Also, shout out to my favorite iteration of Myers Candy, which stars Boo Sung-kwan and Deokyum. They did it as like a special performance during one of their 17 concerts, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Okay, so this next one on the list is one of two duets that this particular duo did together. I believe that the other duet in question was one of my favorites from last year, perhaps. I can't remember the context in which I played Dinner, but this is not Dinner. This is Do You Have a Moment by Jung Jane and Suho from EXO.
한 걸음만 더 다가가 볼까 그러다가 멀어질까.
Okay, before I gush, This song was put out by Jang Jane's company, which is called Mystic Entertainment, on March 9th, 2018, and was part of a dual collaboration, like we said. So this song came out first. It's called Do You Have a Moment? And the follow-up is called Dinner, which was released as an SM station song. So even from like a company standpoint, they sort of did it together, like one and one. And Suho has talked a lot about these two songs in particular because he put them out. He had made sort of a resolution for himself that he wanted to put out one song every year that was like just his. And so he collaborated in writing the lyrics for both of these songs, which was the first time that he'd ever done that.
Cute. And Leader Suho.
Yeah, and both of the lyrics were inspired by their actual meetings. So not in the sense that it was like romantic, but Do You Have a Moment is sort of the story of like a couple at the very beginning, where it might be like a little bit awkward and you're sort of like you want to ask somebody out, but you don't want to be, you don't want to like impose or step on anyone's toes. Like, do you have a moment? And when they first met, it was at a cafe and Suho was running late. And so like based on their like interactions and like there are actual lines in the song that like they said to each other. And so they together wrote that, and then the follow-up, they met and they had dinner together in order to continue to talk about the songs. And Suho said that he had like such a crazy day that he hadn't really eaten, and when they were talking at dinner, he was so hungry that all he was focusing on was like eating the steak that was in front of him, and he didn't even like, there was so much of what she said that he didn't even hear because he was just like thinking about eating. And later he brought that up as like, I think that's what I'd like the song to be about, like going to dinner and not really hearing like what the other person said. Like, is that okay? And she loved the idea. So they sort of collaborated on it, again, based on like the personal experience of actually interacting with each other. So it was really a joint effort in their composition of the song, and Suho was very nervous about its reception because it was the first time that he'd ever written a song and then put it out himself. And I think that both of those songs are truly stupendous.
They're very good, and they're very, very different from each other.
They are very different.
This one is like bouncy and fun, and like it's the nervous. I feel like the nervous energy is very present, and the lyrical content of like, could you even like me? Like, there's a shyness that's very sweet, and then like Dinner is like this haunting ass song. Yeah. I don't remember how I described it last year, but I think I said that it was like sexy and haunting because like it's just, it feels like the polar opposite of this bouncy little song. Like it's just like a very, but yeah, I feel like she has a very interesting voice. And his has always been like, he has like a sweet little voice. And I think something about the way that their voices go together, it's like, it's a very interesting, it's an interesting match. I think that I would say in listening to it just now, I think that this is probably my favorite harmonies in our list, because there's something that's almost a little bit discordant about the harmony that they choose. Like where she chooses to hit the notes is not where you think it would go, but it still sounds so lovely. And the instrumentation is very simple, like just the piano. And I think that this song is maybe one of the more vocally interesting and, to me, beautiful songs on this list. Personal opinion. Great. I love that. So that's Do You Have a Moment by Jongjae and Suho. Next on the list is one of my picks, and it is from this year, so I think it's the newest of the contributions on the list. This song is by Luna, formerly from FX, and George. That's that guy. That's the stage name that person chose for themselves.
All right.
George. And the song is called Do You Love Me? So this song, like I said before, is from Luna's album that came out this January. It's called Even So. It was her second solo album. And the good thing about this one is that this song has a music video and a dance practice.
Amazing.
So there's lots to look at if you want to look at it. The choreo is really cool. It's just Luna and like two girl dancers. And it's very smooth. And cool. And I love this song. It's like very sexy. I think this dude has a great voice. I looked him up today. He's a singer. And he has a very funny song called Boat that is like a reimagining of that Lonely Island I'm on a boat song, but like in a groovier R&B way. And I love his voice, and I love Luna's voice. I really, really do.
Yeah.
And I liked this solo album so much, and I remember this song like really standing out to me. Lyrical content, it's like you heard it just then, like, do you love me? Tell me how you feel. Like, it's just like one of those like wondering kind of songs. But it's definitely like a more hip-hoppy R&B. At the beginning, there's like a piano it sounds like a Hazy song, like exactly like it could fit on any Hazy album. So that makes it feel slightly outside of the K-pop bubble a little bit, and that it's like more of that K-R&B kind of sound.
Absolutely. Yeah. This song kind of reminds me of Hwasa and Loco's collaborations, which we didn't include on this list, but honorable mention to the song. I think it's called Don't Give It To Me by Hwasa and Loco.
But that was when you told me this morning that there was one spot left on the list. This is the one I chose because I was like, what has come out this year? And I liked this one. So Do You Love Me, Luna and George.
Excellent addition to the list. Next is the song. This was one of my picks. It's called Oh Yeah by Jung-hwa and Jung Hyun. This song was off of Jung-hwa's studio album, The Cloud Dream of Nine, which was released on December 26th, 2017. And it was her first comeback in 8 years since the song Disco, which is also a duet with my Instagram boyfriend, Top. And that one I didn't include on the list because it's just like very silly. But I love this song. This song, when it came out, it was released posthumously for Jung Hyun, and so at first it was very difficult to listen to, but I wanted to include it on this list because, for one, I think it has a very different vibe than a lot of the other duets that we've mentioned. It is it's much more of like a dance song, and it's so upbeat and it's so peppy, and it just like, this was a great album of Jung-hwa's that had a lot of different feelings in each track.
It was mostly like a slightly on top of its time, like 80s synthy vibe that's like Stranger Things has made really cool again. But yeah, I remember like this album it was a good album.
It was a great album, and it also did it was very interesting in that, like, from track to track, I think it sort of swung back and forth. It stayed 80s synth, and that was sort of the common theme of every song, but it swung back and forth between the, like, peppy, bubbly, poppy 80s synth and the sort of haunting, sad 80s synth.
Yes.
And did a really great mixture of both on the album. And this was more of the like poppy, peppy side of that.
It's the like first one.
Yeah, it's the first song on the album.
Opens it.
It opens the whole thing. And I love their voices together. It just like made my heart soar that they even collaborated together because she is such an icon. And it was very hard because the album came out about a week after his death. But I love this song. I continue to listen to it today, and I just had to put it on this list.
I'm really glad that you included it because I hadn't heard it since then because the ending credit music video was like a real moment for me. I loved
It's so
it.
good. It's so good.
And I remember it being like the highlight of my week that week.
Yeah.
And
it was the first time that Jung-hwa had ever come out with something since we had gotten into K-pop.
right, because she's like 50
Yeah.
and she hadn't done anything in a while, and it was like
she
this
came
return
out in
to
her
greatness.
best Cher leotard with tights, and she looked fucking great.
Yeah, and I just think the whole end of 2017, like even though there was a lot of great music that came out then, I feel like I just unfortunately was not in the right headspace. I feel like I had to go back and like reappreciate things from. So I'm glad that you included this in that list, because it was a thing that like I was too sad to listen to, and I'm glad to have it now.
Well, if you have the heart to bring it back into your life, I highly recommend it. And I recommend that whole album as well. It's very good.
Great. Okay, this next one on the list was, I believe, on one of our greatest of 2018 lists somewhere last year.
I definitely included it somewhere because I absolutely fell in love with the song as soon as it came out.
This is Moonbyul from Mamamoo, and once again, Seulgi from Red Velvet with Selfish.
wanna be selfish. 아직 많은 나의 wishes. 세상의 기준을 맞추기엔 제멋대로인 게 어울려. Sometimes being selfish.
This song was Moonbyul's solo debut. It was the lead title track off of her little solo debut EP, or I guess it was like more of a teeny tiny mini album, because it was this song and two others, one of which had been previously released on a Mamamoo album called In My Room. And so this came out on May 23rd, 2017. And we've talked about Moonbyul and Seulgi before as being sweet idol friends. They got close when they were both on Idol Operation Team, which I know is a show that you watched. And so I think that because of that friendship, Moonbyul, when she was preparing for her solo debut, tapped Seulgi to be on this. And I love this song. I love the music video. I really like the way their voices work together. And this song makes me happy, and it makes me want to like, it's one that I just turn up really loud, and like, it's very like sunshiny to me.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I think it's from 2018, right?
Did I say 2017?
You have it written as 2017, but I'm basically positive it was from last year, not 2 years ago.
Let me look. Yes, you were right. My bad.
Oh, no, it's fine.
You are correct. 2018. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was one of your favorites of the year last year. I definitely really enjoyed it. Very, like we said last year, very fun music video, really cheeky and like
Yeah.
and fun, and it's really sweet that they like bonded and are great friends, and people ship them real hard.
Yeah,
and
they do.
Like, and yeah, they made this cute ass song that's really, really fun. So.
Yeah, and I love it. It's just about doing things for yourself, like putting on makeup because you want to, because it makes you feel nice, or sitting and playing video games because you want to. Like, it's gonna make you feel good, so do it.
Yeah. Focus on yourself, girl. Do it for yourself. What's that Crazy Ex-Girlfriend song? Like, pierce your eyebrows just for yourself.
Oh yeah, just
Put
for
yourself first in a sexy way.
Yeah, that's right. Love it. I love it.
Okay, so the like last song of our 10, I am very curious about, because I got a text message from you. I woke up this morning, I had a message from you that was sent at like 1:45 a.m.
No, it was like 1 a.m.
And it was like, don't open this. You're not allowed to know anything about this until tomorrow.
I specifically said, I'm sorry, but you are not allowed to click or view this link until we are recording. I must first tell you the beautiful and heartbreaking tale of friendship and woe that leads up to this most glorious moment. But I'm sending it to you so you can have the link prepared.
Okay, so
Well, we
regale me, girl.
All right. Well, we can play the song first.
Oh, we can?
And yes, just not that link.
Okay.
So the song is called Just by Zion T and Crush.
내 마음 아플까 걱정 말고 사실 난 아무렇지
Okay, before you get out everything you have to say, I just have to say, this is one of my like favorite songs ever.
Oh, absolutely.
They are two of my like favorite voices on the planet. And this is, like I said at the first song, this is one of those songs that just makes me cry and I don't know what I'm crying about. Just because I love it. And this, it's so good.
This Zion T, I talk about him all the time because I truly, he's one of my favorite musicians. But he and Crush are both K-R&B artists. This song was released as a single so the song is called Just, but the single, when you look it up on iTunes, the name of the single is Young.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I have it on my phone as.
Yes, but it was released on February 1st, 2015, and it was a huge hit. They won Best Collaboration for the Mamas, and they even were able to, wait, let me double check. Let me fact check. They were able to promote it on music shows. Like, this was a huge, huge hit for both of them. And they are credited on it together. It is not one of them featuring on the other's song. It is Zion T and Crush together. But so as the song too, it's like kind of, I guess, before I tell you this, before I regale you with Friendship and Woe, to talk a little bit about the quality of the song, like we've been doing for each one, it is melancholy. Like Zion T has a fantastic way, I think, of like making, he just pours a lot of emotion.
There's so much emotion in his voice that like because it's the little lines like in this song where he says like, actually I don't like you, like I hate you. Or in Eat where he just says like, one of the lines is like, you're just so beautiful. And the way that he like sings those words, it just like you feel it in your fucking soul. Like he just has one of those voices that like,
he makes deliberate choices with when he fully sings and when he sort of sings and when he whispers and when he falsettos. Like he's just so deliberate in the way that he makes his music. I love it. It really adds a special quality, I think, to his music. So this song is like melancholy, and it's sort of, the idea is like, you know what? Yes, I'm hurting, but I hate you, so I don't need you to check up on me. Like, please just walk on by. That's the lyrical content. And when I was making my list of duets, I knew I had to include a Zion T song because I love him so much, and he collaborates with a ton of people.
Yeah, on our long ago when we did that featured artist episode, we talked about a lot of these songs and a lot of these people because they're the types to be featured on other people's songs or to have others join them.
Absolutely. And I think that in learning what I've dubbed the saga of Crush and Zion T, is that it may be worthwhile doing a KR&B episode where we just sort of talk about the key figures in KR&B and like sort of the history of that genre, because they're very key players in it, and their friendship, I suppose, is a very important part of the KR&B scene. And so I knew that they have several collabs together. I knew I wanted to include Zion T on this list, and I didn't know which song I wanted to pick because I love so much of his music. And when I read about their relationship, I knew it had to be this one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take you back in time.
All right.
A long, long time ago. Back in perhaps 2010, 2011, Crush was a bit of a failed trainee, and he had bounced around to several different companies, never made an official debut, and was just sort of trying and not succeeding in making it as a singer-songwriter, making it as an idol. But he was a huge fan of Zion T, even to the point where he would wait outside of Zion T's apartment. Like, that's the kind of fan he was, where he would like wait for him to.
So he was sasassing.
A little, but not in an evil way.
But he was a trainee, so maybe he was like a level higher than a regular person.
Like, I know. I read that and I was like, ooh, crush, check yourself. Like, you're embarrassing yourself, girl. Waiting outside his apartment. But he was just like, he was such a fan of Zion T. He loved him so much that he would wait outside of his apartment for him. And eventually in 2012, he was able to meet him and he gave Zion T a demo tape of his. And Zion loved it and asked Crush to feature on a song called Two Melodies, which is another song I almost recommended. I love that song. It was released on March 3rd, 2013. And it's sort of the first big break for Crush because that song comes out in 2013. And then Crush is signed with Amoeba Entertainment, Amoeba Culture, I think.
Okay.
And that is Zion T's label.
Okay.
So Zion T and Crush were both under the same management, Amoeba, and Crush debuts in 2014. So he's doing well. Zion T is, of course, like just, sort of growing in his artistry, putting out new music. And in 2015, they collaborate again with this song, Just. It immediately goes to number 1. Like I said, they were able to promote it on music shows like Music Bank and Show Champion, and that's incredibly rare.
So it's like a breakthrough.
R&B.
It's like a breakthrough
Absolutely.
song. It's smashing genres.
Yeah.
It's not just coffee shop music.
Exactly. This song put Crush and Zion T on the map in a way that they weren't before. It fully cements them for the R&B, for the group, that community.
Yeah.
It fully cements them as a duo. And it starts to sort of elevate this idea of duos within KR&B and within Amoeba specifically, because Amoeba is also the company that gave us Dynamic Duo.
Okay.
And so to have Crush and Zion T like coming out here, going on these music shows, being able to promote this song, it's such a good song, and they're best friends, and they're like publicly, sweetly, like adorably best friends. Everyone from KR&B fans to K-pop fans were suddenly like, these guys, they're doing great. This is good music.
Totally.
We should keep an eye on them. So in 2016, and I should say as well, before I get into this part, as it cemented them as a duo, it also started to build for the KR&B community this little sort of crew that would collaborate together, which included Crush, Zion T, Gray, and Loco, sometimes Dean, and like a couple other people.
A little J Park. Like
exactly.
It's a
names
very small, incestuous little gang of people.
And they feature on each other's stuff, and they're buds, and they like put out a lot of music together, and they're sort of a core feature of this genre. Then in 2016, Zion T's contract ends with Amoeba and he signs on to the Black label with YG. And Crush is crushed. He apparently didn't know that Zion T was leaving, and he didn't find out through Zion T. He found out through, I believe, the press. Like he heard that Zion T had left Amoeba. However, he didn't leave. He didn't choose to leave. His contract ended, and he just chose not to re-sign. Right. But they were best of friends. Like Zion T is the reason we have Crush.
Yeah,
he's like his little protege. And so Crush felt like truly betrayed by his departure from Amoeba. And there is a lot about what really went down between them that we don't know because they've never really publicly talked about it. The general consensus is that we assume he felt betrayed by the fact that Zion T didn't come to him and tell him first, but it may have been deeper because Crush went full jilted X on Zion T, deleted every single post or picture on his Instagram of the two of them, deleted him from his phone, blocked him on all accounts. To the point he just excommunicated Zion T, which of course had ripple effects for the R&B community because
they're so
of
small.
that and that core crew, right? Like Zion T and Crush were the key figures of that crew, and now our two they're broken, right? This friendship is gone, and Zion T is heartbroken. He goes at some point. So this happens in 2016. There's a show in 2017 where like Crush comes out with some music, and Crush features on the Goblin OST. And there's in 2017 a press outlet asks Zion T, like, hey, are you jealous of the fact
because that
Crush,
Goblin OST was
it was huge.
deal.
It was huge. And Zion T said, no, of course not. Like, I have only the most admiration for Crush. Like, I'm so proud of him and I'm so happy for all of his success. I wish him nothing but success. At another show in that same year, he even got to the point where Zion T asked his fans to reach out to Crush on his behalf. Because he said, please just tell him to call me. I've been calling you.
No.
I've let him know that I'm calling for him. And then 2018 at a festival called the Monster Concert, February 24th. Crush is performing and he comes out, he's doing his set, and all of a sudden the lights go out and the intro to Just starts to play, and all the fans in the audience immediately hush. And they're like whispering, murmuring, is this real? Are they really going to do this song? And now is when you can press this link, because the lights come on and the audience is truly treated.
Okay. All right. Just for podcast sake, I'm about to play a video. I don't know how we will edit this in post. But if this ends up being weird, it's because I'm about to watch something. So here we go. Oh my God. I'm really nervous. I'm scared, but I think I'm going to cry.
I cried.
Fuck you. Oh my God. They're holding each other so tight. Oh my God. No.
They don't let go.
And the audience just has to sing it for them. Oh my God. Oh, Crush is just rubbing his back. Oh, my baby. Oh, they can't even look at each other. Look at his cute face. Why does he always cover it with glasses?
It's his
it's his signature look.
I say this because I listen to this song almost every day, but
he sounds emotional.
yeah.
he sounds very emotional. Don't cry! Oh, back hug!
He hugs him when he says 사랑해.
Oh, he can't even look up.
No,
at his
and he
face.
just holds on. You're not going anywhere. Look at the way he looks at him. He's so proud.
I'm guessing that this crowd is just like full of sobbing fangirls,
Yes.
right? Like
100%. They sing their little hearts out.
Yeah, get the rap out, guys. Yeah, you got it. Oh, now they're doing a butt dance.
Cause they're friends again.
이게 얼마 만인지.
Don't rush.
He's emotional.
I know.
내 마음 아플까 걱정 말고 그냥 지나가면 돼.
Oh, they're holding their arms the same like weird twins. Don't cry. Oh, handshake, hug. Oh, hug.
I'm gonna see you after the show, right? Are you for sure? Yes.
Yeah. I will. There's the audience is, you can't go. Don't go. Oh my God. That was a really good story, and I'm really, really glad that that was the end of it, because all I had heard about, like, I had never heard about this, but the other day I saw like a funny Tumblr post that was like, the KR&B, it was so, I feel like the premise of the post was that like the KR&B fans should get like a season of BuzzFeed Unsolved or something, like, so that they could find out why Crush and Zion T stopped talking, or what happened with Jessie, and who Jay Park was singing about in Mome. Was like the whole joke was just like about like mysteries in the KR&B world. And I was like, oh, are Zion T and Crush like, I had never heard of it until that very post. So I'm glad to know the whole story, and that it has a happy ending is
and
very
such
good.
a sweet, touching, like sincere and emotional ending. So Crush and Zion T were both signed on to do this monster concert together, and it was like the first time that they were going to appear at the same event together since like having this rift. And so this song was the transition between Crush's set and Zion T's set. And I think the fans, like, obviously the fans had no idea that they were going to reconcile on stage, but it's just like one of the most touching things I've ever seen.
That hug at the beginning was like too real. Like, I felt upset that I was like getting to look at it. Like,
right?
Like, I don't think this is for me.
No,
guys.
like Zion T has never been happier than in that moment, having his best friend back in his arms. Like, the emotion is real, and it's so beautiful.
It is really beautiful. That was I think that was a perfect note to end this little segment about some of our favorite duets, because solo K-pop is fun, but two K-pops is even better. So with that, we'll be right back with our random game.
Cheers.
All right, we're back. And we got a big old tumultuous girl group, happens a lot in this game. But this was a group that I actually had heard of many a time. And this girl group was called Nine Muses.
Yes, Nine Muses from Star Empire Entertainment. They debuted in 2010, originally with 9 members.
And a graduation concept like After School had at the time, and Super Junior was supposed to have, or like NCT Dream has.
Exactly.
Where people are supposed to age out. But it seems like they had a hard time just keeping 9 members in general.
Yes, they did. So their debut single, or their debut album, was called Let's Have a Party. And the lead singer was co-written by JYP. But after that single, or after that debut, one of the members left. And then before they were able to come out with another Korean release, they lost 3 other members. So 1 member left, then 3 members left. Then one of those 3 members decided to return, but then they only had 7 members. And so the group, or the company, said, you know what? We're going to change the name to, what was it? Like Star Candy or something? Sweet Candy. We're going to change the name to Sweet Candy because it's confusing if a group called Nine Muses has only 7 members. Right. And then they said, never mind, we'll keep it 9 Muses, and we'll just add 2 members so that they are 9 again.
Which is very funny to me, because that's one of the only things I like knew about this group, is that it comes up in my examples when I'm like railing against K-pop group names. Like people like 4 Minute never had 4 people, and Nine Muses doesn't have 9. But I guess they did at a point. But like, I feel like as long as I was paying attention, 9 Muses did not have 9, and so I thought it was a stupid name. But I guess agree. It made sense at a point.
Yeah, at a certain, for very brief moments in their career, it made sense. But I feel like every time I had my attention drawn to Nine Muses, they never actually had 9 people.
So they went on losing, gaining, changing members many a time, but like some notable things we talked about in our co-ed group episode that one of the members and another trainee did a co-ed project called Nasty Nasty with Kevin from ZEA, and we loved that.
Oh, so good.
Very fun.
So good.
And one of the other things I think I knew about Nine Muses is that they come up a lot whenever Soompi or a YouTube channel or whatever does like 15 songs that were banned from TV from being too sexy. I'm almost positive that Nine Muses is usually on those because I feel like they had a very sexy concept.
Yeah.
Or were supposed to. But the group officially disbanded this year in February. They were down to 4 members and had been only 4 members since 2016, I think.
Yeah, and had not released any new music. They put out their last thing before announcing their disbandment was a repackage that came out in August 2017. So they really hadn't been very active in the years leading up to their disbandment. But even just looking at their Wikipedia right now, they have 8 different lineups between 2010 and 2019 of different members. So, one of the girls, only one stuck
from beginning to end.
From beginning to end. No, not Minha. Hyemi.
Oh, yes.
Hyemi.
Hyemi. All the way till the end.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really magical. Okay, so let's see what their most popular music video is and give it a watch. Nine Muses. Yeah, see, it already looks saucy before I even sort these videos. I got saucy in here.
All right, and it is Wild.
Which was from, this was their 6th single ever released. And it's from 6 years ago, so 2013.
Yes.
I'm good at math. Here we go. This is Wild.
All right, ladies.
I'm scared because the description of this is 9 muses showing their amazing, sexy bodies with Wild. See, this is what I'm saying.
Dear.
Banned from TV. Okay,
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Okay, black and white, but like with pops of red, which is always a fun aesthetic.
Oh, okay, one of them is just straight up in a bra. Can't
Cool lipstick looks.
Yeah. It's got some sequins on their lips.
Some
Okay, there
jewels.
are 9 members in this. Oh, is this a perfume ad?
I hope so. I hope they got paid to be spraying. Oh, walking down the stairs
right.
in my panties. That's something I always
My panties
do.
and heels and my diamond earrings, of
Oh
course.
no, love
no.
razor blade. Don't rub that on yourself like that.
Oh, this is very sexual. They kind of look like they're prostitutes getting ready
she has
for
a rope.
This is a little like best little whorehouse,
Oh, yeah,
opening
yeah, yeah.
montage. Like,
Yeah, they're like
Meeting all
mostly
the
wearing
girls.
lingerie. They have like whips and razor blades. Those glasses remind me so much of the Abracadabra video. The Brown Eyed Girls Abracadabra video. Okay, this
she's
girl,
the classy whore.
she's wearing a red dress and laying on a piano. Okay, girl in a bustier in a bar.
Oh,
Guns!
the gun. Why?
Does she have a tattoo on her boob?
Maybe.
It's like in every scene. I think it's real.
Oh.
Interesting.
There's a lot of like very deliberate crotch shots. Oh, but a short-haired member.
This is the cool one with short hair.
They have some. That's a fake tattoo for sure. Good fashion in this, though, I gotta say.
I mean, they don't look bad.
No, they're not all in underwear all the time. There are some like actual.
There's a lot of
looks in here.
Oh,
Wow, boobs.
titties. I was gonna say there's lots of very nice tailored blazers in some of the scenes. They're like wearing very nice jackets, but the lingerie is also like really a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that's just a straight
Chains?
up chain on her
Okay.
neck. This
Yeah,
really
now
is,
it's just like straight down, like from above.
her shirt says pervert.
Oh my. Yeah, one of them is wearing a jersey that says pervert on it. And there's like from above cleavage shots. Like,
And
to
some
the
upskirt
extreme.
shots as well. Now this is making me a little uncomfortable. Why?
And now they're getting lesbian. They're in like a lesbian
caressing
pile.
Each other. What?
Ugh.
Ooh.
Oh, this. Oh.
Ooh. I don't like it.
Oh, no.
I didn't like the last part. It was like, because they kept doing, like we said, they had interesting lipstick looks in it. So there was this one shot, which was kind of cool at first, where it had all 9 of their mouths like
And they have
singing
like
along.
interesting like patterns and jewels and stuff. Like it's very crazy,
Yeah.
like lipstick art.
But the very end, they're like licking their
they're
lips
going,
and biting it and like being ooh, ooh.
And then they were all like holding each other's like thighs and like being in like little
Yeah.
sexy piles. I don't know.
Heads in laps and oh dear.
Well, sorry to Nine Muses that this
Sorry
was
to this Nine
sorry to
Muses.
this Nine Muses that was this was their last year in K-pop. But yeah, they're very interesting because they feel like a group that I have like always heard about on
Yeah.
these very like fringe. Like I've always known that they existed, but I
Absolutely.
couldn't tell you a Nine Muses song. But
Now you can.
now I can. Wild.
And it was.
And it was.
And it was.
Oh, wow. Okay, before we get into weekly recommendations, I want to make a call before people start tuning out at the end of the episode.
Too late. They're already gone.
So it's like almost the end of November now when you're listening to this. And we really want to try to do it up this year for December because 2019 was like, there was so very much going on this year.
And so much excellent music came out this year.
So much. So we're definitely going to do our part to have several like best of the year, our opinions about music. We might invite some special guests and do that. But
spoiler alert, there will be personal opinions.
yeah. But what I want to know also is like, I want to know how 2019 was for you guys. So I would appreciate it if anybody would send us some emails letting us know what was let me credit. A listener named Lynn gave us this idea. I want them to have the credit for it.
Absolutely.
But I think you all should send us what was your like favorite moment, memory, K-pop of 2019 that like if you look back in 5 years, like for example, like me, like 2016 or summer of 2016, it was like those solo albums that I was obsessed with and I'll like never
Luna
forget
and
it.
Jeon Young
And
killed it.
Yeah, and Tiffany, like all those solo albums.
And
like,
Taeyeon too, right?
yes,
Yeah.
there was so much that summer. And like that's what 2016 is in my mind. So I want to know like, what was 2019 for you? Did you get to see one of the like infinite amount of K-pop concerts that were running around the world this year? Did you get to go to K-Con for the first time? Did your favorite group come back after years and years? Did your bias put out a solo album? Like whatever was your like favorite moment of 2019, I want you to send those to us because I want to do a whole episode of like listeners' picks for like your favorite parts of 2019 K-pop wise.
A K-pop highlight from the year. But I will challenge you, and I know that a lot of things came out. I know it is true. And I know that you just want to send us every single thing you loved this year, but please don't. I am challenging you to choose one highlight of the year. Tell us, squeal.
Yeah, really describe why it was
give
your
us,
favorite.
Give us the essay of why it was your highlight, but please try your very best to choose only one thing that was the moment that defined 2019 K-pop for you.
Yes, perfect. So I'm throwing that out there now. And where you can send that email is amakpoppod@gmail.com. And if you want to read our tweets or see our Instagram, it's at AMAKPopPod on those platforms. Another reminder, next weekend, we're doing a chat on Amino. So follow our Amino community. That's a rough word. Is that all the places? Ask Me About K-Pop, the podcast on YouTube?
And
Rate,
Twitter
review,
and
subscribe.
Instagram, but we haven't done our recommendations yet.
Oh my God, you're right. I got too excited.
How dare you?
I'm so sorry. So forget
It's okay.
that.
They were all hanging in. They're all still listening because they
were-
couldn't
the people were
possibly
like-
turn it off without hearing our
But where-
recommendations.
But where's the recommendations? Okay. Would you like to go first? I think I went first last week.
Sure, I'll go first. My recommendation is for a duet that I did not include on my list because it is a duet in the sense that it met my criteria. It was two people who equally sing throughout the entire song. But because these two members are from the same group, I chose not to include it on the
Right.
list. But my recommendation is for Falling For You by 17. It is a very sweet acoustic guitar duet between Jonghan and Joshua. I believe, I don't remember what album it's off of, but it is excellent. It's a couple years old, and it's just sweet and cute and that little cafe music that kind of goes along the same lines as Some and Runnin'. It would have fit perfectly into the beginning of our rec list for these duets, and it is just one of those songs that like absolutely puts me in a pleasant mood.
I love that song. I did not know that it was a duet. I assumed it was
Yeah.
a unit stage because of the lack of voices, but only two. That's
only
so great.
two, Jong and Josh,
It's so good.
besties.
I love that one. My recommendation is also a song that I cut from the list. I cut this song though because I feel like the song itself isn't strong enough to be like part of the 10. But as a performance, which is why I wanted to recommend it, so people would have to go watch it. But our You Know from TVXQ put out his first solo album this year. Was it his first? I think
Yes.
it was his
Yes,
first.
it was.
Okay. And there is a duet on it with the love of his life, Boa, that's called Swing. And like I said just
Oh, are
now,
they swingers? Just kidding.
I don't know what they're up to. But the song itself, I felt like was not enough. It's not enough of a song to like recommend to put on a list of 10 songs like this. We've had a long day, guys. But they did perform it together at the last couple SM towns. And there's dancing to it because
Yeah.
it's Boa and so there like has to be dancing.
So you know they're gonna.
So you know there's dancing. So I just wanted to recommend it so that people will go look it up so that you can watch them dance together because they have like the best chemistry and they dance so good. And also because is and like the king of manners and never getting caught or whatever. But there's like a sexy dip in the song where he runs his hand up her thigh or whatever. But the fan cams caught it that from every angle he like manner hand had his wrist bent so that he like was not actually grabbing her butt at any point because he's the most careful boy in the whole world.
He's a professional, baby. Professional.
So it just made me laugh. So that's what I would say is look up Swing by Boa and for like adorable secret love dancing.
Yeah. And we will be tweeting out that video that I made Shannon watch. But if you want to cry a little bit about bros loving other bros, then just type up Crush Zion T reunion. And there are multiple angles of the video that I sent you.
Very good. So I plugged all of our social media before, but I'll do it one more time. We're at AMA Kpop Pod on basically everything. AMAKpoppod@gmail.com. Send us your best moments of 2019. And all
Your
of those
best
things.
moment. Singular.
Thank you. Thank you. And we'll be back next week. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Dongyan, you're our inspiration.
And I had 3 different songs of yours on my list before I whittled it down.
Yes, please.
Pulls and wine. Yes, it wasn't Hyena on the keys. It was Sugarman.
Finding Sugar Man or whatever
Yeah.
that show. Or no, that was the documentary.
That's the name, but it's inspired by the documentary. And so, in the sense that they would take old artists who were one-hit wonders or like didn't do very well, and then find them, pair them up, and then have new artists make current artists make a remix of their song to make it likable for modern audiences.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that Chen Chanyeol song is in fact a cover.
Well, I love it.
Me
And
too.
I listen to it all the time.
It is quite beautiful. I also have, I didn't include it, but because we've talked about it all the time, Swim Good. That's
Yeah.
a duet. And I Want to Be